The way turning metal into gold is not something you'd expect. Everyone can turn lead into gold. So, listen carefully. How does this video find its way to you? Where fell the footstep of the master, the ears of those ready for his teaching open wide? When the ears of the student are ready to hear, then comes the lips to fill them with wisdom. This is the Hermetic law of cause and effect. If you are ready, these words resonate. If not, the seed is planted. Truth arises when the student is prepared. I'm Hydas The Magus. I help spiritual individuals discover true and real wisdom through over 10 years of real-life experiences in spirituality, esotericism, occultism, and consciousness. Together, we will learn all ancient forgotten teachings, the fundamentals of energy, and how to use it. If you desire to join this journey inward and interdimensionally, then subscribe, like, and ring the bell, so you will be invited to wisdom each time. Mind, as well as metals and elements, may be transmitted from state to state, degree to degree, condition to condition, pole to pole, vibration to vibration. True Hermetic transmutation is mental transmutation, mental art. The Hermetists were the original alchemists, astrologers, and psychologists, Hermes having been the founder of these schools of thought. From astrology has grown modern astronomy. From alchemy has grown modern chemistry. From the mystic psychology has grown the modern psychology of the schools. But it mustn't be supposed that the ancients were ignorant of the which the modern schools supposed to be their exclusive and special property. The records engraved on the stones of ancient Egypt show conclusively that the ancients had a full, comprehensive knowledge of astronomy. The very building of the pyramids shows the connection between their design and the study of astronomical science. Nor were they ignorant of chemistry. The fragments of the ancient writings show that they were acquainted with the chemical properties of things. In fact, the ancient theories regarding physics are being slowly verified by the latest discoveries of modern science, notably those relating to the constitution of matter. Nor must it be supposed that they were ignorant of the so-called modern discoveries in psychology. On the contrary, the Egyptians were especially skilled in the science of psychology, particularly in the branches that the modern schools ignore, but which, nevertheless, are being uncovered under the name of psychic science. This perplexes the psychologists of today. It's making them reluctantly admit that there may be something in it after all. The psychologists today suggest meditation. The truth is that beneath material, chemistry, astronomy, and psychology, there was deeper knowledge. That is the psychology in its phase of brain action. The ancients possessed a knowledge of transcendental astronomy. This was called astrology. They possessed a knowledge of transcendental chemistry. This was called alchemy. They possessed a knowledge of transcendental psychology. This was called mystic psychology. They possessed the inner knowledge as well as the outer knowledge. The latter alone is possessed by the modern scientists. Among the many secret branches of knowledge possessed by the Hermetists was that known as mental transmutation. This forms the subject matter of this lesson. Transmutation is a term usually employed to designate the ancient art of transmutation of metals, particularly of the base metals into gold. The word transmute means to change from one nature, form, or substance into another, to transform. And accordingly, mental transmutation means the art of changing and transforming mental states, forms, and conditions into others. So you may see that mental transmutation is the art of mental chemistry. If you like the term, it's a form of practical mystic psychology. But this means far more than appears on the surface. Transmutation, alchemy, or chemistry on the mental plane is important enough in its effects. To be sure, if the art stopped there, it would still be one of the most important branches, but this is only the beginning. Let's see why. The first of 7 Hermetic Principles is the principle of mentalism, the axiom of which is all is mind. The universe is mental. This means that the underlying reality of the universe is mind. And the universe itself is mental, that is, existent in the mind of the all. We shall consider this principle in succeeding lessons. But let's see the effect of the principle if it's assumed to be true. If the universe is mental in its nature, the mental transmutation must be the art of changing the conditions of the universe. This is along the lines of matter, force, and mind. So you see that mental transmutation is really the magic of which the ancient writers had so much to say. They wrote about in their mystical works, and about which they gave so few practical instructions. If all be mental, then the art which enables one to transmute mental conditions must render the master the controller of material conditions, as well as those ordinarily called mental. As a matter of fact, none but advanced mental alchemists have been able to attain the degree of power necessary to control the grosser physical conditions, such as the control of the elements of nature, the production or cessation of tempests, the production and cessation of earthquakes, and other great physical phenomena. But that such men have existed is a matter of earnest belief, and do exist today. This is matter of earnest belief to all advanced occultists of all schools. The master's existence is held as true, and have these powers. The best teachers assure their student of this, having had experiences that justify them in such beliefs and statements. These masters do not make public exhibitions of their powers, but seek seclusion from the crowds of men. They do this in order to better work their way along the path of attainment. We mention their existence at this point merely to call your attention to a fact. That fact is that their power is entirely mental. It operates along the lines of the higher mental transmutation. This is under the Hermetic Principle of Mentalism. The universe is mental, says Hermes. But students and hermetists of lesser degree than masters can work freely. These are the initiates and teachers. They can freely work along the mental plane in mental transmutation. In fact, all that we call psychic phenomena operates along the same general lines. Mental influence operates along the same general lines. Mental science operates along the same general lines. New thought phenomena operate along the same general lines. For there is but one principle involved, no matter what name the phenomena are called. The student and practitioner of mental transmutation works on the mental plane. They transmit mental conditions to others and states into others. This is according to the various formulas. These formulas are more or less efficacious. The various treatments of the school of mental science are but formulas. Their affirmations are but formulas. Their denials are but formulas. They're often quite imperfect and scientific formulas of the Hermetic art. The majority of modern practitioners are quite ignorant compared to the ancient masters, for they lack the fundamental knowledge upon which the work is based. Not only may the mental states of oneself be changed, they may be transmuted by Hermetic methods, but also the states of others may be constantly transmuted in the same way and are constantly transmuted in the same way. This is usually done unconsciously, but often done consciously by some, by those who understand the laws and principles. This is in cases where the people affected are not informed of the principles of self-protection. And more than this, as many students of modern mental science now and practitioners of modern mental science know, every material condition depends upon the minds of other people. These may be changed or transmuted in accordance with the earnest desire of a person and the will of a person and treatments of a person. This is for person desiring change conditions of life. The public is generally informed regarding these things at present, that we do not deem it necessary to mention the same at length. Our purpose at this point is merely to show the Hermetic principle and to show the art underlying and all of these various forms of practice. This includes both good and evil practices. The force can be used in opposite directions. This is according to the Hermetic Principles of Polarity. In this little video, we shall state the basic principles of mental transmutation. We do this so that who watch the video may grasp the underlying principles and thus possess the master key. And this key will unlock the many doors of the principle of polarity. We shall now proceed to a consideration of the first of the Hermetic Seven Principles. This is the principle of mentalism. In it is explained the truth that the all is mind, the universe is mental. These are the words of Hermes. We ask for the close attention of our students and careful study of this great principle, for it's really the basic principle of the whole Hermetic philosophy and of the Hermetic art of mental transmutation. How does this video find its way to you? Hermes answers, where fell the footsteps of the master? The ears of those ready for his teaching open wide. When the ears of the student are ready to hear, then comes the lips to fill them with wisdom. This is the Hermetic law of cause and effect. If you are ready, these words resonate. If not, the seed is planted. Truth arrives when the pupil is prepared. Wisdom isn't owned, it's received. Guarded not out of selfishness, but reverence. As you close, reflect on this. You begin a journey Hermes themselves walked. In the next videos, we will unpack the 7 Hermetic Principles one by one in detail. Until then, ponder these words, so motto to be. If you desire to journey inward, interdimensionally, then subscribe, like, and ring the bell, so you will be invited to wisdom each time. To learn more, and can't wait for the next videos, visit the website to read the book of Hydas.org.